Lesson 135.
Cocina, comedor, sala.
Antonio, the word cocina, is that related somehow to the Spanish word that means cook, like the verb to cook?
Mm-hmm. The verb to cook, the infinitive to cook, in Spanish is cocinar.
Oh, so it's very similar.
Very similar.
Okay, that's a good memory device.
Mm-hmm. Then we have the second word here, comedor, which is dining room, comes from the word comer, which is to eat. So what do people do in the dining room? Well, they eat. So that's where the word comedor comes from.
Okay. And the sounds like you're putting the accent on the last syllable of comedor.
Yeah, it goes on the last syllable, on the O.
So
comedor.
Comedor.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Then we have living room. The most common and universal word that we have in Spanish for living room would be sala. But sala can also mean different things in different countries. But for now, let's just learn it as living room.
Is it related, you think, to the word salon?
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay. So I think the word salon, really, it's a French word that we've sort of brought over into English, I think. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like it's related to that.
Yeah, it just means it's just some kind of room. So
right.
Whatever room you have in a house or in a building, mm-hmm. that just happens to be a sala. Okay. But living room translates to sala.
Okay. So comedor ends with DOR, and our little note here says that all nouns with that ending are masculine. Mm-hmm. Can you think of some other words that end in DOR?
Tenedor, which is a fork.
Fork. So that's masculine.
That's masculine too.
What about matador?
Matador. Yeah, that's also masculine.
Okay, let's look at our exercises together. In number 1, la comida está means the food is, and en la cocina means in the kitchen. So the food is in the kitchen. In number 2, la mesa está says the table is, and en el comedor means in the dining room. So the table is in the dining room. In number 3, el periódico está says the newspaper is. En la sala means in the living room. So number 3 says the newspaper is in the living room. In number 4, los niños están says the children are, and en la sala means in the living room. So the children are in the living room. In number 5, sin una mesa says without a table. Nosotros no podemos says we are not able. And cenar is an infinitive that means to have dinner. So number 5 says, without a table, we are not able to have dinner. Or, without a table, we cannot have dinner. In number 6, yo estoy says I am. En la casa says in the house. So number 6 says I am in the house. In number 7, tú and estás together say you are. Siempre means always. En la biblioteca means in the library. Pero means but. Nunca means never. Lees is a verb that's second person singular, and it means read. Los libros means the books. So number 7 will say, you are always in the library, but you never read the books. In number 8, mi papá quiere says my dad wants. Su periódico means his newspaper. Pero means but. Then we have no está. The verb here is está, and the subject of that verb is the newspaper. We're not going to repeat the word periódico, so in our translation we're going to insert the word it. En su escritorio says on his desk. So number 8 will say, my father wants his newspaper, but it is not on his desk. In number 9, mi familia desayuna says, my family has breakfast. Todas las mañanas means every morning. So number 9 says, my family has breakfast every morning. In number 10, Mi madre está says, my mother is. En el comedor means in the kitchen. Pero means but. And then we have no quiere. Quiere is third person singular, and the subject of that verb is mi madre. In our translation, we will insert the word she. Cenar is an infinitive that means to have dinner. Porque means because. And then we have no tiene. The subject of that verb, again, is mi madre. And this is part of an idiom. No tiene hambre will say, she does not have hunger, or she is not hungry. So number 10 altogether will say, my mother is in the kitchen, but she does not want to have dinner because she is not hungry.